Everybody, welcome to the September edition of the KP Ready Virtual Demo Day. Before we get started, I wanted to do a couple of housekeeping items. If you're not aware, we have our upcoming AEC Summit on October 29th in Phoenix, Arizona. And then we also have a Vibathon on the 28th at the same location. And we still have a few spots left on that. So if you need to sign up still, go to our website at kpready.co, go to the events drop down, and you'll be able to navigate to each of those events that are upcoming. Today we've got 4 different technology providers. We have site controls, we have some robotics for the job site, AI for RFIs, and AI for submittal review. So to start things off, we'll start with David and Tom's from SafeSite. And Tom, if you want to pull up your slide and take it away, and audience, feel free to ask any questions. And after they're done showcasing their product, we'll go ahead and get to those questions. So just put those in the chat.
Hi, everyone. This is David Ward, CEO and founder of SafeSite Check-In. I'm joined today with our head of product and my co-founder, Tom Tortolani. What we do is make the job site paperless, more productivity, less paper, and the most basic essential job site functions. Can you back up?
Yeah, sorry about that. Try that again.
There we go. So we automate and make paperless, the most essential job site management functions: daily attendance and compliance data capture, traditionally called the daily log or DFR, any number of names. As part of that, we have also automated, worker onboarding and orientation. As we all know, anybody can show up at a job site, not just employees, but subs, visitors. And for that reason, we've implemented a web app, which can be, run on any device, because you never know what people are going to show up with. This essential data also has to be integrated with your project management software in order to match manpower actual against plan, and be sure that your subs are showing up with crew sizes as expected. And then we also automate the basic safety functions of hazard screening. If it's a particularly risky site, emergency action plan, communications, safety data sheets, and the data that you would need to investigate any instance. So the app has benefit for any project owner, developer, and also saves the GC the money by automating paper processes, which are, as we all know, are very inefficient. And we also believe that over time, the data we collect will be essential to the future agentic, AI use cases. Okay, next time. One thing we've learned in the last 5 years is that GCs only don't willingly expand the scope of their project by trying out new technology. It's one of the frictions we have to overcome as technology providers. So we focused on the word easy at every step of the way. So easy to buy, by pricing per job site with no user limits. And I think we all know GCs hate user management. And make the app easy to deploy. Most of our customers can be up in 30 minutes using QR code posters at job site interested. It's easy to use. It's intuitive, consumer level usability with automatic language detection. And also very important for GC is no IT services are required. We work on any device, as long as it has a camera and internet connectivity. And in general, because there's no user management required, there's no IT services at all. All right, with that, Tom will demonstrate the product. Thank you.
Okay, hello everybody. Give me a moment here to switch my screens around. So hopefully you all see a page here. It says Foggy Bay Construction. This is our demo company. And what I'm showing you here is a page that team members from a company would typically have access to, setting up various job sites in our application. Our main focus is really about the process around checking in, checking out anybody that comes to a job site. There are some things associated with that. For example, as a condition of coming into a job site, people might be required to attend training, acknowledge terms as part of the condition to come in the job site. And we set this up so it's very easy to customize. And so, as David said, our focus is very much on this is the non-technical user. They can go in very quickly with a big blue button here. They set up a job site definition. If they're integrating with Procore, which we do, it's very quick to do that and also get all our data into the manpower logs in Procore. A couple different ways that we manage the check-in, check-out process. One, each of these sites gets its own unique QR code poster. And then the idea is that when people come to a job site, you put these QR codes at the entrance or entrances to a job site. People scan the posters and then it opens up an app. They collect the information that the contractor wants to collect. The other way is we do badging as well. So a lot of job sites have more rigorous requirements around secured people coming in and out. So with our system, you can also set up badged users and have them scan a badge on any device when they come in and out. I know we've got a short time here, so I'll try and go through this quickly. The app does give real-time access to all the activity that's happening as it occurs at the site. We do keep all the history in the application as well. Even when the job site is complete, our customers get complete access to all the history. So later, if there was ever a claim, an injury, something happened, you've got complete access to all the information that's happened at the site. So the way check-in would typically work, and I'll just show you, you can set up a kiosk at the job site. A kiosk is just simply a web page with a camera, and you decide whether you want people to do badge check-ins, whether they're checking in and out. So for example, badge check-ins are very quick. They would tap the check-in, they hold up one of our badges as part of that, and in that case, they've just done check-in. Right, so you see here that now it's recorded real time that this person's checked in. You can actually click. For people who are badged, we have profiles, so you can look at all of their certifications, pictures in their profile, professional certification, safety training, whatever, as part of that, as part of what we capture in our system. If somebody's manually checking in, this could be the experience also if they've got a site poster where they're scanning a QR code. Everything here is really designed for phone footprint. Customize what you want to collect. For example, you want to look at different visitor types, have them identify if they're a delivery person, a subcontractor, an inspector. Based on that, they might be presented different terms or information they need as part of that process to come through. Then they're simply going through a check-in process. If a site has safety data sheets, job hazardous, JHA forms, and so on, those are also immediately available to people that come in. And so I'll just go through a real quick check-in here. This is part of my demo. Typically, name, company, phone number is what is collected as part of the process. And if we're integrating with Procore, for example, we can actually grab companies from Procore and pop those into the application as well. You can ask for additional information. For example, what activities are you performing on the job site for the day? Safety-related information. Have them acknowledge that they're going to wear their required personal protection equipment. And then checkbox terms. For example, you can attach your content with training videos, documents they must agree to as part of them coming into the job site. In this case, they've got to actually click and open a document, acknowledge they've seen that, as part of the process, right? And then checking out would be the same thing. They would scan a QR code with their phone to do a checkout, or if they use the kiosk to come through, I will do this real quick. Basically, go ahead and do a checkout. And another thing customers really care about is knowing when somebody leaves for the day, whether or not they were injured, whether or not they'd seen an accident. So as part of the checkout process, you can actually ask a visitor to tell you if that happened, and you've got a record in the system that says whether somebody declared an injury or not. Again, you're covering yourself here. If somebody comes back later and says, hey, I was injured on a site, but their checkout says they were not injured, you've got kind of a good risk management solution here on top of all that. I know we're short on time. I'll just say just a few other things. With our system, you got online access to all the data, but a lot of our customers also schedule content to be sent out on a regular basis, whether it's daily, weekly, spreadsheets, PDF documents of all the activity that's been captured through the application. One other nice added benefit is that we do actually a weekly snapshot. So we send this out every week to our customers. They have basically a listing for the past week by day, how many companies showed up to the job site, how many workers checked in through the application. So it's just a nice overall system to, have visibility to what's happening at the site, cover yourselves with making sure people are agreeing to safety terms and training as part of that overall process. And there's also communication in the application where things like communicating emergencies at the site, weather-related, safety training related. We see our customers use this quite a bit, blast out an instant text message to people who are there to let them know that there's something they need to know about. So, with that, I know we're short on time. We'll go ahead and cut it off here and turn it back over to the panel.
Great. So a couple questions from the audience. How does your system tie into a corporate safety system, and does the user need a smartphone?
So if they're going to be scanning a QR code poster, yes, they need a phone with a camera on it that can scan poster. If they're getting badges, they're being issued, and with the kiosk, you can also set up a shared device. So a lot of times they'll have it in a job site trailer or even on a phone that people carry at the job site. They can quickly scan and check somebody in, with a different device. As far as tying in with other applications, we have direct integration with Procore, getting information, sending back information into Procore. The rest of it is basically by just sharing files across different systems, we can load data and provide data out and share in that fashion.
And do you guys have an app that people can install to manage this, like this job site supers or even the workers that are checking in?
So everything you're seeing here is a web page. So team members can be set up as users on a system. They can log into the web page. They get access to data based on their role. People who are checking in, they don't need to download any app, but we do have an app if they want to use an app to also manage the activity and also set up this kiosk page. This can also be just a normal web page without downloading an app. So we work either way, pretty much the same functionality.
So the application that you could download on your mobile, you can access the same information as on the web base?
That's true.
Okay, so if the job site super is walking around and needs to check something on the check-in, so you can just access that directly through the mobile app. Correct?
Yeah, through the mobile app, through web page, they'll get a lot of the information you're seeing here. For example, you can set up somebody who's a job site supervisor. They can only look at the job sites that they're assigned to. They can look at the activity. They can share logs. They can communicate with people through the application.
Very good. If there's no other questions from the audience, Tom and David, why don't you go ahead and drop your contact information into the chat to everyone. So if somebody wants to reach out or has any additional questions in the future, they know who to contact.